Sri Sai Satcharitra, English. Baba's passing away, Maraninchu, previous indication. Averting, AVERTING, Addukovalam, death of Ramchandra Dada Patil and Tatcha Koteswarrao Patil, charity of Lakshmi Bai Shinde, last moment. This chapter describes the passing away of Baba. Preliminary. The stories given in the previous chapter have shown that the light of Guru's grace removes fear of mundane existence, opens the path of salvation and turns our misery into happiness. If we always remember the feet of the Sadguru, our troubles come to an end. Death loses its sting, STING, వాడిగా ఉన్న అవయంతో గుచ్చి గాయపరచు, and the misery of this mundane existence is obliterated, OBLITERATED, తొలగింపు. Therefore, those who care for their welfare should carefully listen to these stories of Sai Samarth, which will purify their minds. In the beginning, Hemad Pant dwells on Dr. Pandit's worship, and he is marking Baba's forehead, Nuduru, Nosalu, Lalatamu, FOREHEAD, with Tripunda, that is 3 horizontal lines. But as this has been already described in chapter 11, it has been omitted here. Previous indication. The readers up till now hear the stories of Baba's life. Let them now hear attentively of Baba passing away. Baba got a slight fever on 28 September 1918. The fever lasted for 2 to 3 days. But afterwards Baba gave up his food and thereby grew weaker and weaker. On the 17th day, Tuesday, the 15th October 1918, Baba left his mortal coil, COIL, at about 2:30 p.m. While Professor C.G. Narke letter dated 5th November 1918 to Dada Saheb Kapardev, published in Sai Leela magazine, page 78, first year. 2 years before this, that is in 1916, Baba gave an indication of his passing away, but nobody understood it. It was the following. On the Vijayadashmi Dasara day, Baba all of a sudden got into wild rage in the evening. When people were returning from Simolongan, crossing the border or limits of the village, taking off his headdress, kafni and langota, etc., there he tore them and threw them in the dhuni before him. On being fed this offering, the fire in the dhuni began to burn brighter, and Baba shone still brighter. He stood there stark, STARK, nikkachiga, naked, stark naked, and with his burning red eyes shouted, "You fellows, now we have a look and decide finally whether I am a Muslim or a Hindu." Everybody was trembling with fear, and none dared to approach Baba. After some time, Babaji Shinde, the leper devotee of Baba, went boldly the Simolanga near him and succeeded in tying a langota waistband round his waist and said, "Baba, what is all this? Today is the Simolangan, that is Dasara holiday." Baba, striking the ground with his satka, said, "This is my Simolangan, crossing the border." Baba did not cool down till 11 p.m. and the people doubted whether the Chavadi procession would ever take place that night. After an hour, Baba resumed his normal condition and dressing himself as usual, attended the Chavadi procession as described before. By this incident, Baba gave a suggestion that Dasara was the proper time for him to cross the border of life, but none understand its meaning then. Baba gave another indication as follows: averting, AVERTING, Addukovalam, death of the Ramchandra and Tatcha Patil. Some time after this, Ramchandra Patil became seriously ill. He suffered a lot. He tried all remedies, but finding no relief, despaired of his life and was waiting for the last moment. Then one midnight, Baba suddenly stood near his bed. Patil held his feet and said, "I have lost all hopes of life. Please tell me definitely when I shall die." Merciful Baba said, "Don't be anxious. Your hundi, death warrant, has been withdrawn and you will soon recover. But I am afraid of Tacha Patil. He will pass away on Vijayadashmi of Shaka 1840. 1980 after death. Do not divulge." DIVULGE, Velladi. This is to anybody, not to him. For he will be terribly frightened. Ramachandra Dada got well, but he felt nervous about Tatya's life, for he knew that Baba's word was unalterable and that Tatya would breathe his last within 2 years. He kept this secret told to none but to Bala Shimpi, a tailor only. Only these two persons, Ramachandra Dada and Bala Shimpi, were in fear and suspense regarding Tatya's life. Ramachandra Dada soon left his bed and was on his legs. Time passed quickly. The month of Bhadrapada of Shaka 1840 1918 was ending and Ashwin was approaching. True to Baba's word, Tacha fell sick and was bedridden, and so he could not come for Baba's darshan. Baba was also down with fever. Tacha had full faith in Baba. Tacha's illness began to grow from bad too, and he could not move at all. But always remembered Baba. The predicament PREDICAMENT Sankatasthiti of Baba began to grow equally worse. The day predicted, that is Vijayadashmi, was impending. IMPENDING Raboye and both Ramchandra Dada and Bala Shimpi were terribly frightened about Tacha and their bodies trembling TREMBLING Vanukutam and perspiring PERSPIRING Chamatal Pattanam with fear thought that as predicted by Baba, Tacha's end was near. Vijayadashmi dawned and Tacha's pulse began to bear very slow and he was expected to pass away shortly. But a curious thing happened. Tacha remained his death was averted. AVERTED Tippukonanamu and Baba passed away instead. Badulga. It seemed as if there was an exchange. People said that Baba gave up his life for Tacha. Why he did so, he alone knows. He, as he is always, was inscrutable. INSCRUTABLE Antu Chickani. It seems, however, that in this incident Baba gave a hint of his passing away, substituting Tacha's name for his own. Next morning, 16th October, Baba appeared to Das Ganu at Pandharpur in his dream and said to him, "The masjid collapsed. All the oilmen and grocers of Shirdi harassed me a lot, so I leave the place. I therefore came to inform you here. Go there quickly and cover me with bakkal flowers." Das Ganu got the information also from Shirdi letter, so he came to Shirdi with his disciples and started bhajan and kirtan and sang the Lord's name throughout the day. Before Baba Samadhi, himself weaving a beautiful garland of Lord Hari name, he placed it on Baba Samadhi and gave a mass feeding in Baba's name. Charity to Lakshmi Bai. Dasara or Vijayadashmi is regarded by all the Hindus as the most auspicious time, and it is befitting that Baba should choose this time for his crossing the borderline. He was ailing Jabu Padina some day before this, but he was very conscious internally. Just before the last moment, he set up without anybody's aid and looked better. People thought that the danger had passed off and he was getting well. He knew that he was on to pass away soon, and therefore he wanted to give some money as charity to Lakshmi Bai Shinde. Baba pervading వ్యాపించి ఉంది all creatures. This Lakshmi Bai Shinde was a good and well-to-do woman. She was serving the masjid day and night. Except Bhagat Mahalsa Pati, Tacha and Lakshmi Bai, none was allowed to step to the masjid at night. Once, while Baba was sitting in the masjid with Tacha in the evening, Lakshmi Bai came and saluted Baba. Baba said to her, "Oh Lakshmi, I am very hungry." She went, say, "Baba, wait a bit, I return immediately with bread." She did return with bread and vegetables and placed them before Baba. He took it and gave it to a dog. Lakshmi Bai then asked, "What is this, Baba?" "I ran and in haste prepared bread with my own hands for you, and you threw it to a dog without eating a morsel of it. You gave me trouble unnecessarily." Baba replied, "Why do you grieve for nothing? The appeasement of the dog's hunger is the same as mine. The dog has a soul. The creatures may be different, but the hunger of all the same. Though some speak and others are dumb, know for certain that who feeds the hungry really serves me with food. Regard this as truth." This is an ordinary incident, but Baba terribly ప్రతిపాదించారు, వ్యాఖ్యానిస్తున్నారు a great spiritual truth and showed his practical application in daily life without hurting anybody's feeling. From this time outward, Lakshmi Bai began to offer him daily bread and milk with love and devotion. Baba accepted and ate it appreciatingly. He took a part of this and sent the remainder through Lakshmi Bai to Radha Krishnamayi. who always released Ruchikaramana Aharamu and at Baba's remnant Seshamu, Remnant Sesham Prasad. This bread story should not be considered as a digression. It shows how Sai Baba pervaded all the creatures and transcended them. He is omnipresent, birthless, deathless, and immortal. Baba remembered Lakshmi Bai's service. How could he forget her? Just before leaving his body, he put his hand in his pocket and gave her 5 rupees and then 4 rupees, in all 9 rupees. This figure 9 is indicative of the 9 types of devotion were learnt by Sri Shabari from Lord Ram, described in chapter 21, or it may be the to-do woman, and so she was not in want of any money. Baba might have suggested to her and brought to her notice the 9 characteristics of a good disciple mentioned in the 6th verse of the chapter 10, Skanda 11 of the Bhagavat, wherein first 5 and then 4 characteristics are mentioned in the first and second couplets. Baba's this gift of 9 she will remember ever, being so watchful and conscious. He ordered them to all to clear off Kaka Sahib Dikshit, Bapu Sahib Bhoti, and others were in the masjid anxiously waiting upon Baba, but he asked them to go to the Wada and return after meals. They could not leave Baba's presence, nor could they disobey him. So with heavy hearts and heavy feet they went to the Wada. They knew that Baba's condition was very serious and that they could not leave him. They sat for meals, but their mind was elsewhere. It was Baba. Before they finished, news came to them of Baba shedding Karchu, the mortal coil. Leaving their dishes, they ran to the masjid and found that Baba rested finally on Babaji's lap. He did not collapse on the ground, nor did he lie on his bed, but sitting quietly on his seat and doing charity with his own hand. Let the mortal coil. Saints embody themselves and come into this world with a definite mission, and after that is fulfilled, they pass away as quietly and easily as they came. Bow to Sri Sai, peace be to all. Srinivaso Vijayate.